Right now, live at 5, for the first time, a former Taliban captive is speaking out, the unique way he is sharing his story. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Joy Howen for Karen this evening. We'll get to that story in just a bit, but first, new tonight at 5, the University of Iowa is making changes to its ISIS system. Now, ISIS, which did stand for Iowa Student Information System, is what students use to register for classes. But as the terror group ISIS became more prominent, some people felt the name needed a change. So this afternoon, the school announced they are creating an entirely new portal with a name change that will combine systems with other ones like email so they can have everything in one place. The IT department says they want student feedback on what they should include and how it should all be set up. A building in Washington, D.C. has been evacuated. Officials say they found a powdery substance in an envelope at the Council on American Islamic Relations. That's a Muslim advocacy group headquartered on Capitol Hill. Authorities say they've quarantined anybody who touched the letter, and they're trying to find out who sent it. Right now, they say they don't think there's any danger, but they aren't taking any chances. Donald Trump is still under heavy fire from critics over his comments about banning Muslims in the U.S., but new poll numbers show a lot of voters agree with him. The latest national numbers released this morning show him polling in 35% support, his strongest showing yet. But religious leaders are upset, saying it's damaging to the Muslim faith. And here at home, some community members feel the same way. A group with Cornell College gathered to talk about issues surrounding Islamophobia. CBS 2 News reporter Stephanie Johnson is here now. She was at the event today and joins us now to tell us what happened. Stephanie.
Yes, Joy, I was at the event. Islamophobia is a dislike of prejudice against Islam or Muslims. Muslim leaders, priests, and other members of various faiths talked about how they can combat it as a community. Now, this was an open discussion with lots of questions, and one organizer explained why fearing people who worship differently is bad.
To hate and fear anyone is a problem. People are people, and as human beings, we should care. And which is why, part of the reason why I decided to cover today. As a Christian woman, I want to show support for our Muslim brothers and sisters.
It's all about raising awareness first, and then you can take action. But so many people, as like the part of the discussion was that kind of ignorance and just general lack of knowledge about Islam and people who practice Islam.
Now, the organizer of the event said this is just the beginning of a conversation, not the end. Stephanie Johnson, CBS 2 News, live at 5.
Stephanie, thank you. New details tonight on the San Bernardino massacre. FBI investigators say they now believe Syed Farook had ties to an ISIS recruiter and also tried to cover his tracks by asking a friend to buy the guns he used in the attack. Investigators say he was friends with Sohail Kabir, who was sentenced to 25 years in prison for ISIS recruiting. Officials say Farook and his wife developed extremist views 2 years ago. The couple was killed by police after they shot and killed 14 people last week. Arkansas State University is on lockdown tonight after a man with a gun was spotted there today. Police say he drove onto campus and pulled out the weapon. The man was arrested and nobody was hurt, but the school is still on lockdown while authorities continue their investigation. Let's take a break now and check in with Chief Meteorologist Terry Swales to see what's coming down the line in our Weather First forecast. Hey, Terry.
Hey, Joy. Warm temperatures back with us again today. As warm as 56 this afternoon in Iowa City, 54 here in Cedar Rapids. And now our skies are clear out there, so the latter half of the day was much better than the first half when we had some clouds and some gusty winds. Now the winds are back down out of the southwest at 13 miles per hour. And you can see our temperatures are still holding in the 40s out there, upper 40s in some spots. And all around the nation, once again today, just absolutely no cold air to speak of. It does not look like mid-December, that's for sure. And as a result of that, we'll continue on with our warm temps. Skies tomorrow should be partly sunny, and temperatures once again will be back in the 50s, so another nice mild day. So we'll kick the weekend off to a good start. However, a major storm will bring rain to the Midwest this weekend, and heavy rain at that. We'll talk more about it in our forecast coming up. Joy.
All right, Terry, thank you. Well, after slipping away from an Army base in Afghanistan in 2009, Bo Bergdahl finally is speaking out. He's breaking his silence on the most popular podcast in history, cereal. My colleague Scott Sanborn joins me now with what Bergdahl is saying, and also Scott explaining about a new report that actually accuses the president of mishandling this release.
Yeah, that's right, Joy. First of all, I can tell you that Sergeant Bo Bergdahl says that after leaving his remote Army post in the middle of the night, he had a sinking thought. His plan to draw attention to himself by prompting a massive manhunt was going to backfire in a hurricane of wrath from his commanders. He was quickly captured by the Taliban and held for years before being released in exchange for 5 Taliban prisoners at Guantanamo Bay. Well, today, the same day the Serial podcast aired, Republicans in the House came out with a report accusing the president of breaking the law to negotiate the deal. The report says the administration should have given lawmakers 30 days' notice of any transfers from Guantanamo. In today's podcast, Bergdahl tried to explain what it was really like being held prisoner.
Like, I can't scream, I can't risk that, so it's like you're standing there screaming in your mind. In this room, you're standing like in this blackened dirt room that's tiny. And just on the other side of that flimsy little wooden door that you could probably easily rip off the hinges is the entire world out there.
Bergdahl is facing charges of desertion. You can hear the full first episode of Serial's second season by heading to our website, cbs2iowa.com.
Interesting stuff. Scott, thank you for that. Once again today, people in Chicago are calling for the mayor's resignation. Yesterday, CBS 2 News reported Mayor Rahm Emanuel made an emotional apology for the shooting death of Laquan McDonald. The video of an officer shooting and killing McDonald came out this month, sparking protests. Emanuel said change needs to happen, and the first step was his apology. The search for a missing Waterloo teen has ended in tragedy. Authorities say the body of 18-year-old Mo Said was found over the weekend in the Cedar River near Gilbertville. Said had been missing since October. Authorities say they are still trying to figure out how he died. Said was a senior at Waterloo West High School, and the district released a statement saying in part that Said's family appreciates the support, but they want to grieve privately and are asking people not to send them gifts or similar gestures. A new report has just been released about whether the new president at the University of Iowa was chosen fairly. Investigators say they're from the American Association of University Professors, and they visited back in October. Today, they said they believe Bruce Harold was one of the front runners through the entire process. AAUP says they couldn't pinpoint if the Board of Regents picked him from the beginning, but the report did say the board led other candidates to believe that they would be chosen as the next president.
What we concluded was that they were looking for a specific kind of person, somebody who could bring, quote unquote, transformative change to the university. And whether it was Bruce Harold from the beginning is less clear than that.
Investigators did not meet with President Harold, but they did say that the College and University Governance Committee will decide if a sanction will be imposed on UI. A sanction does not mean Harold would be forced out of his post. A new way to have family fun could be coming to the corridor. North Liberty is talking with a local entrepreneur about building an entertainment center off Penn Street near I-380. The center would have things like bowling, laser tag, and a sports bar. All of that would cost an estimated $8 million and could mean 250 jobs. Coming up tonight on the CBS 2 News at 6, a live report on how the proposed project would fit into this quickly growing community. One corridor man is using money that he was going to spend going to the Rose Bowl and instead using it to help others. Yesterday, the North Liberty Community Pantry received a donation of nearly 2,000 pounds of food and toiletries. The donor, who wants to remain anonymous, told the pantry he was planning to go see the Hawkeyes play in the Rose Bowl, but decided this was more important. The pantry says they want to thank the man for his support and generosity. Coming up on Live at 5, an army of good. The way one Cedar Rapids mother is pledging her support to the very group who is helping her put presents under the tree this Christmas. Take a live look tonight at I-380. This is at that S-curve. Drivers heading home. Looks like things running smoothly. No accidents to report. And good news is Chief Meteorologist Terry Swales, good weather for him.
Yeah, these mild temperatures we've been seeing will continue right on into the upcoming weekend, but there is a storm in our future, and it looks like it's going to bring heavy rains to eastern Iowa. In fact, the possibility of record-breaking rains. We'll tell you all about it in your most accurate forecast next.
A deadly plane crash this afternoon is still causing some major problems tonight. Take a look. The small craft crashed on Highway 29 north of Council Bluffs. The pilot was the only one on board, and he was killed. Now, this is video from the scene when the crash actually happened a few hours ago. It happened about 1 this afternoon. And then we want to take a live look at what it looks like tonight, because this area is still, as you can see, closed down in some portions. Part of that road is shut down, and you can still see the plane in the median there as authorities are still trying to figure out what happened. Again, the pilot was killed, unfortunately, and if you're headed that way, just be aware you might have to change directions because they do have part of the road shut down there. Another thing that might change your directions, we've got a storm brewing, but not the kind of December storm we're used to.
If this was all snow, we'd be looking at 20, 25 inches of snow out of this system.
Well, I think we're all glad about that.
Yes.
We get our workout in, shoveling.
As it is, it could be a record-breaking rain for this time of year. That's it's going to be 1 to 2 inches of rain, which is very unusual. Just don't see that much moisture in December and January here in the Midwest. So I'm going to tell you all about it, Joy.
All right.
All right, have a seat.
I'll do that.
Okay. 48 degrees, the temperature now here in Cedar Rapids. That coming after a high temperature earlier today of 54. The winds have calmed down quite a bit. For a while there, they were gusting to 40 miles an hour as a little front came through. And as that went by, it cleared out the skies. Now the winds are a little bit calmer out there, and we'll have ourselves a pretty respectable night. And 50s are going to rule the weather here right on through the upcoming weekend. There could be a few spots. By the time we get to Sunday, they get close to 60 degrees, but there is going to be a weekend storm around. So it's not going to be overly pretty, and rain is definitely in the forecast starting Saturday night and continuing right on into Sunday, and heavy rain at that. Some spots could see more than 2 inches of rain somewhere in parts of central or eastern Iowa. Here's tonight's satellite, and the skies have again cleared out nicely. This little disturbance here did scare up a couple of showers in our northern and eastern counties today. Not much in the way of rainfall, but definitely a few of those around. But look at the temperatures here. Iowa City went all the way up to 56. It was 54 here in Cedar Rapids. Waterloo at 51, 53 in Dubuque, and Waterloo the only place to see any measurable rain, 1/100th of an inch there. Then here's the high temperatures around Iowa today, with readings generally in the range of about 49 to 59 degrees. That is pretty impressive for this late in the season. And high temperatures tomorrow look to be mild once again. I'm thinking probably low 50s in much of eastern Iowa, but there could be a couple spots approaching 55. And out here in southwestern Iowa, still right around 60 degrees. These temperatures are 10 to 20 degrees above the seasonal norms. Temperatures tonight are back in the lower 40s in the northeast to the upper 40s in the south and west. It's 49 in Waterloo and Tama, 48 here in Cedar Rapids. Charles City tonight, you're at 46 degrees. And again, we've got clear skies and quiet weather ahead of us tonight. Tomorrow, some of these clouds will come into the area, but I still think a little bit of sunshine in there. And as a result of that, we should make it back into the lower 50s. And this storm system here spinning over the west is the one that's going to cause some weather problems for us later on this weekend. We expect the low pressure now to track right up over eastern Iowa. That's a pretty common track, and when that happens, the heavier snows stay off to the north and west of us from northwestern Iowa up into Minnesota. We should be in line for showers and perhaps even some thunderstorms on Sunday. And look at the rainfall our model is forecasting out of this system, up to 2 inches here in Cedar Rapids, and that extends all the way back into central Iowa as well. So it looks like we're in line for another heavy rain event, quite unusual for this late in the season. But one thing we won't have to worry about, and this is a certainty now, is that the storm coming right on through eastern Iowa will dump its snows off to the north and west of us. So no shoveling with this system, but certainly plenty of rain. And our forecast tonight has mostly clear skies and low temps that'll be back right around 30 to 34 degrees from north to south, southwesterly winds. Then tomorrow, we should see partly sunny skies, but probably more clouds as we get into the afternoon. And readings will range from the upper 40s in the north to the low to mid 50s in our southern counties. Now the extended forecast has Saturday at 56 degrees with some showers developing, and then the rain gets heavier Saturday night and Sunday. That's when we could see a thunderstorm, but look at Sunday's temperature, 58 degrees. By then our normal high should be 32, and after that things gradually cool off next week, and by Wednesday and Thursday, little reality check there with temperatures right around 30 to 31 degrees. Joy.
Really? That's incredible. All right, Terry, thank you. We do want to get to some breaking news to tell you about very quickly. Officers in Louisiana face murder charges tonight in connection to the death of a 6-year-old boy. You probably remember this story. 6-year-old Jeremy Mardis was shot and killed by police last month, sparking outrage in his community. Now, the 2 officers involved have been indicted. The boy, who has autism, was actually riding in the car with his father, and that is who officers say they were trying to hit. The father survived. This afternoon, though, a grand jury indicted the officers on murder charges for little 6-year-old Jeremy Mardis. We'll keep you posted on this story as we get more details. Every Christmas, the Salvation Army helps parents put toys under the tree. This year, though, they need some extra help. They're asking for you to step up so no child will be without a present this Christmas. There's one day every December
Distribution is a wonderful time of the year for us.
dozens of volunteers look forward to
It is wonderful to see the families.
when they get to see moms like Lindy Hunter
We get to know them.
pick out toys for her kids at Christmas.
Providing extra stuff, it's not as easy.
The mom of 4 works hard all year to provide for her family, but when the holidays roll around,
Christmas is a wonderful and joyful season. That's what it's all about. And for so many people, that's not what it's about.
sometimes no matter how you budget, life just happens.
Things you want to provide for your kids, and you can't. And so with that, it just, it's kind of sad on that point, but on the same hand, this way you can provide, you can get that for your child. So, I mean, it's an awesome thing.
We know that we're making a difference in their Christmas.
This year the need is greater because more families need help, and donations are behind.
If we don't hit our goal this year, we have to really take a hard look at our programs for next year, and we don't want to have to do that.
But you can help. Lindy says they might not have extra funds, but they donate their time at the Red Kettles.
It doesn't take a whole lot to do that. You stand out there for like a 2-hour shift, and you get to see all the people that you're bringing joy to. Basketballs are always safe.
Today, Santa's sleigh looks more like a shopping cart.
I love this.
His helpers
Need another toy shop volunteer.
wear all kinds of uniforms and leave it to a mom at Christmas to gently remind us
Thank you.
what it's all about.
It's not about the Christmas, it's about being with family, you know, and the reason for Christmas, you know, and that there's so much more to Christmas than presents.
The Salvation Army is behind about $30,000, and that's on top of the $30,000 more they need this year. There are so many ways to help. We listed them on our website. Still ahead on Live at 5, spending holiday wishes. A young girl is asking for your help to have a happy holiday. Why she's getting Christmas cards from across the globe. And at 5:19 now on this Thursday night, traffic moving smoothly down in Coralville here at I-80. No accidents to report or traffic jams to tell you about, but a lot more Live at 5 when we come back.
Listen throughout the day for your Weather First forecast on I-1071. All the hits.
It's not Christmas yet, but an 8-year-old girl from New York is already getting her wish. 2 years ago, she lost her family and was left disfigured by a fire. As Don Champion reports, her simple Christmas wish is moving people around the world.
8-year-old Sapphire Terry has lost so much, but wants so little this Christmas.
How many cards do you think there's going to be?
20.
Thanks to the generosity of people from around the world, she's getting her wish. Weeks ago, Sapphire told her aunt she wanted to fill her card tree this Christmas. When her aunt posted the wish on Facebook, it went viral. Wednesday, the family got a huge shipment of cards.
You know what it is the message. Her message is out. Her message is out to the world now. And that's what we're happy about.
2 years ago, Sapphire lost her father and 3 younger siblings in an arson fire. Burned over 75% of her body, Sapphire has undergone countless surgeries and lost her left foot and right hand.
I can't read this.
The cards now helping to make this a memorable holiday.
Today's the first day, and we've already have over 100 letters and cards and multiple packages and parcels that have come in for her.
That's all I have is thank you. Thank you.
A Christmas wish delivered early. Don Champion, CBS News.
Amazing. A live look outside tonight on the drive home on Collins Road in Cedar Rapids. Traffic moving smoothly there as well. Terry's got one last look at that forecast next. Well, it's a good thing I trust this guy because some of the temperatures coming down the line, who wouldn't trust that face, right? I just don't believe some of these temps we're having right now.
Well, and you know, we've gotten so used to it too. I think we almost kind of expect this now. You know what our record low for today is 23 degrees below zero.
Oh, goodness.
Holy cow.
I'm not complaining about this.
So yeah, I mean, really, it could be a lot worse, and it's going to stay nice and mild. As you can see all around the country, the temperatures are way above normal, and there's really not much weather going on. Skies have cleared out here, so that should mean at least partly sunny skies during the day tomorrow. And once again, temperatures back in the lower 50s. By Sunday, some thunderstorms and some heavy rain if possible.
I was going to say, it won't really water our lawns, maybe the inflatable snowmen out there.
Maybe I'll have to mow in the next couple of weeks.
What do you know? Well, that's odd, but we'll take it. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Scott Sanborn and Terry will be back here at 6. Take care.